Welcome to the video series on creating a Google Sites. Putting together a website can be kind of a fun thing to do. It can seem a little bit overwhelming at first. So one of the things that I would suggest that can help you get started is to figure out what do you want to put on the website? Like what is the goal? What's the plan? You have all kinds of information that you can put on there, but it's completely up to you. You can put as much as you want or you can put as little as you want. So one of the things that's sometimes good to do is to get a map and to put together the information, kind of sketch it out, so then you can build it piece by piece. So here's just an example of a site that I have for my Google Sites. So I've got an Abouts page. I have a sample site that that we're going to build together as we're going through this, so I can show for each of the weeks. These are the weekly lessons that will be linked from the top. I'll do these in each of the sample sites and carry it through all these 5 weeks. So this is one example of a map. I use this. Inspiration is the program that I use to create this map. Another one that I have for a physical science class, this one's a little bit more involved, as you can see. And this is one that I use for when I teach my freshman classes. So again, I have an About section that tells a little bit about the class. These are different pages, a homework for different levels, daily agenda for different levels. I have a section on learning that I call Learning to Learn, and I've got some newsletters that I've written, and I've got some information, as you can see over here, for these other topics. MCAS is a state test that we have to take, and so I do have a section that has some practice tests and information about that. The real meat of this website that I've created for my physical science students is down here, and these are just the different topics that we cover throughout the course. And of course, under each one of these topics, I've got things like learning targets, I've got different videos, I've got different links, I've got worksheets, handouts, copies of notes, formula sheets, things like that. So this is the first step I would suggest. Is you don't have to use inspiration or an online program, piece of paper, sketch it out, but you kind of want to have an idea of what you want to put on there. Brainstorm that first before you start building the different website pages for your website. All right, so that's the first step, and then I'll see you in the next part. All right, let's get started making our new Google site. So the easiest way, if you just want to get to the new Google Sites, you can type in new Google Sites into a search, and what you'll find is that this new Google Sites right here is where you want to go. So if we just click on this, we come up to this page. Now, if you've never created a Google site, then you're not going to have any that are here. I've got a couple of them already, so that's what I see, and that's what you see on the screen right now. To get started, it's real simple. You just go down here to this Create a New Site plus button, and when you click on that, little wheel spinning around and around, it's going to generate a brand new Google site for you. So you can name it whatever you'd like. And we'll just go through a couple of the steps in this first part just to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this site Benefits of a Teacher Website. And you'll see that as soon as we type that in over here, we've got it right at the top. We can add a logo, which we'll do a little bit later. So it says your page. Well, if we want to add a title to this page, why not put the same thing? Benefits of a Teacher Website. Now, if you notice, this is kind of big over here. So what we can do is we can just grab the sides, as simple as just pulling it over. And we get the little, I don't know if you can see them, there's a little bit of some grid lines to help us. If we like it like this, that's fine. If you want to put this underneath, we can make it look like this. I'm just going to leave it like this for the time being. Okay, maybe you don't like this background over here because it looks a little bit bland. What we can do is we can change the image that's on that, and there's all kinds of things that we can pick. We can upload one if we have it, or we can select an image. And we have a couple of choices. You can actually search for different images. If you know the link, you can do that. If you've got some that are stored on your Google Drive, you can do that as well. Or you can pick any of these pre-selected ones. These are free. You can pick whichever one that you like. So which one are we going to pick? This one's kind of fancy. And we'll hit select. Now, one of the things that you notice is that it says it's adjusting for readability. So depending on the picture that you select for the background image, it'll change the contrast so that you can see and read very easily the words that you type up there. All right, so now we've got a start on what our website's going to look like. We need to add a little bit of content. You can do that a couple different ways. If we look over here, we've got a couple different tabs. We've got insert, pages, themes. We'll get to those a little bit later. You can certainly use the insert button, and you can add in a text box or image, upload. You can also embed a link, a URL. Or an even easier way is if you just double click down here, you've got the options that come right up, right? Same things as before. So what we'll do is we're going to type in a text message. So what we'll do is we'll just type in, I'm going to put in welcome. And what you can do is you can just type in whatever message that you like. So type. Bam, that was pretty quick. So here's just a little welcoming message that basically gives a little bit of an introduction as to why we want to have this teacher website. The other thing that you can do is that this says normal text, and we have some other options. We can make it a title, which is bigger, a heading, or even a subheading. And watch what happens if we put it on title, it becomes pretty big. If we select heading, or if we select subheading, right, it changes the different size, and that's completely up to you what you'd like to do. You can also bold or italicize. You can choose the alignment. You can make a numbered list. You can make it bulleted, and this right here is for embedding a link. If you don't like it, you can just simply hit the delete, the little trash bucket, and it goes away. We want it to come back, so we'll bring it back. We also have a few more options that we can do. If you have any type of code, you can put that in. Strike through, clear the formatting. It's as simple as that. There's actually not a whole lot of features, which really simplifies it. It makes it so that it's not overly complicated. Okay, because this is a website, maybe we should add more than one page. So we've got our little welcome message, and we've got our benefits of a teacher website. Adding pages is pretty simple. We just go back up here to where it says pages, and if we click on that, we have all the pages that we can add. Now right now we only have one. This is our home page. But if we want to add another page, we just click on add page. There it is. So what do we want to call this other page? Completely up to you. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in communication. What are the benefits of a teacher website? Well, communication is certainly one of them. And done. And what it's doing is it's adding in another page. Now, if you notice, we've got our home button up here, and we've got our communication button up here. If we go back to home, it brings us to that page that we've just created on the previous. And if we go over here to communication, it brings us to the one that we have over here. We've got the same features. We can change the header type. Right now, it's just a title. That's why you only see the word. However, if you want, you can make it a banner, and it brings that background again. Notice we'll have to change that after. Or you can make it a large banner, right? You have those options for the beginning of each of these pages. So I'm going to put on a banner. We're going to put a picture behind this one. Before we do that, it's probably a good idea to maybe drag this over so that we can make it aligned and so that it will fit. There we go. And again, we've got other options. We can change this so that it's either normal text, title, heading, subheading. Right now it's a title. We can center it, change the alignment, make it a link, or we could trash it. Let's do this. Let's change the image because this one's kind of boring. So we're going to select an image. Now for this one, I'm going to actually do a Google search for it. And let's see, I'm going to type in communication. Let's see what we get. All kinds of good stuff up here. How about we pick, well, here's kind of a good one. And we'll select that. There we go. And notice it's adjusting for the readability, and you can see how it kind of faded that out a little bit so that our communication word came right in, and we can read it nice and bold. If we want to add pictures over here or text over here, double click, and we can go and we can add some more information. So I'm just going to type up a few things, and then we'll start adding some more stuff. So let me get to that, and then I'll see you in a minute. All right, I got a few things that are typed up here. Very simple list on some communication ideas. So all I did is just typed up these things. Now if we wanted to, we could make these a nice bulleted list. So we just have to highlight these and then bullet. There we go. I've also typed up a few other pages over here. I just use this button to add a page. And so I have one for staying organized. So we can do this. We can kind of highlight all these. One of the things that you can do is you can have a bulleted list, but sometimes you want sort of like sub-bullets. So it keeps you organized, stay current. You can read through these. Outside resources, maybe these are your outside resources. So I'm just going to highlight these, and to get them to go over, if I just hit tab, it moves it over. Okay, so now we have a nice list over here. For students, let's see, I've got a few other things. What did I miss is always answered. That's, I think, my favorite one. Again, let's make these all a bulleted list. There we go. And I have one other one that I called compliance. And again, I just added these by clicking on the add a page, and I just typed in the heading and the picture that we had before it comes up. So you can read through some of these over here, and now we've got a few different bulleted lists for our website. And if you notice, for each one of these pages that we added, we have this nice navigation bar that's at the top. We can actually choose where we want that, but we'll leave it at the top for now. Okay, so I went back to my communication page, and if we're on this Pages tab, you just click on whichever one that's here, and it brings you right back to that page. So we'll go back to the communication one. Maybe we want to add in another picture. So if we want to, we can double click just like we did before, and we have all these choices that are here. So let's add an image just like we did before for this image at the top. We'll just add an image for down here. So we've got our communication that's typed in, and let's see, we'll scroll down. I kind of like this one because who uses a can anymore to talk? And if we select, we have that image that shows up. Now we've got some basic options. We can crop it, get rid of the crop. We can actually make it a link, so if you click on the picture, once it's viewable, it'll come up. And then a couple other things that you can look on after. I don't like it right here. I actually would prefer to have it right next to this, or maybe we have the picture here, and then we have the bulleted list on the side. And it's really simple. All we need to do is we can change the size of this one. So if I click on this, I can grab and I can actually drag it. Notice the lines are there for a guide. So if we move it right to this one, now we've got this on this side, and we've got our picture over here. And if I want the picture to go right next to this one, it's just as simple as grabbing it and dragging it right up. And so now we've got our communication header, and we've got a picture over here, kind of goes with this can. Maybe this person is talking to the other one. And then we have our list that's over here. If this is too small, we can just highlight these and maybe make it a little bigger, make it a subheading, so it fits and looks kind of nice. The bullets go away, but you know, maybe that's what you want. You can always put it back with your Command Z. I actually kind of like the bigger one. I think people get the idea. Oh, let's highlight all of them, and then we'll go to subheading. So there we go. So if you want to see what this looks like, up here at the top we have our preview button, and if we click on the preview, we get an option, 3 options actually. This is what it would look like on a desktop. That's what this picture over here is. If you wanted to see what someone would view with someone on a tablet, you click on the middle one. And then if there's a smaller phone or mobile device, we click on this one, and it shrinks, and you can see exactly what it would look like, which is kind of handy, right? And then we've got our menu over here, and we can actually go to each of these. If we want to go to the home, it'll take us to that. Here's our welcome message. And we can go to any of the pages, staying organized. Remember, we put all those together. And we can go back to any of the different categories. We've got our large screen, smaller tablet, and then back to the mobile. If you want to get back to the editing, it's simple as just clicking that X, and it takes us right back. So we're on the Pages tab, so we have access to all of these. Let's go back to the home one. Now we've got kind of just a simple basic thing here. We've got benefits of a teacher website. We've got one welcoming message, but maybe there's some other things that we want to add in. So let's go and double click, and I'm going to go onto the text box again. What I'm going to type in is maybe some resources. And what I have is a few tabs that are open over here. So here's one that says the benefits of creating a teacher website. That's a good title, so we'll just take that whole thing and we'll copy it, and we'll come back to our website and we'll paste it right here. Now let's go back to that same website that we were just on, and let's go to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back and let's copy the web address, the URL. What we'll do is we're going to create a link. So I'm going to highlight this whole thing, the benefits of creating a website for your classroom, and now I'm going to go to this button, insert a link. And I'll paste the link directly in right there, hit apply. And so now this is actually an active link. So if we go up to our preview button, we've got resources, and notice it's hovering over, and if I click on this, it'll open up another tab right to that same page that we were just on. All right, so that works perfectly. So let's add a couple more so we have a list of resources that are here. So I'm just going to hit enter, and let's see, there's another one. I have 10 reasons every teacher should want a website. So we'll copy this one, we'll go back, we'll paste that in, and we don't want that title. We want that to be normal text just like the others. But the 10 reasons, let's copy our URL, and same thing, that's highlighted. We'll go here, insert a link, we'll paste in that link, and we'll apply it. Now we've got 2 links. I've got one more tab ready, so I'm going to just copy this, 5 reasons to integrate the website. We'll go back to the benefits tab, type that in. Yep, that made it into a title, which we don't want. Normal text. We'll go back to this one over here, copy, and we'll put in that link, and we'll do apply. So there we go. We've got our welcome message, and we've got our resources. Now resources seems a little small to me, so let's make that a subheading. There we go. So it comes up a little bit bigger. Now the other thing is, it's possible we've got our welcome, and then we've got our message underneath. Maybe we want that tabbed over it. So if we highlight this whole thing and we hit tab, it just moves over. And we can do the same thing to the resources. We can highlight this whole thing, and if we hit tab, it just moves over, just to give a little bit more texture to your page. If we go back to up here to the preview, ta-da! Here's our welcome message. Here's our resources. Each of these we know are active links, right? We can click on any one of them, and it will open up the site that we were just on. There it is. We can close that one back up. And we also have our other links that are on the top over here. So we've got our communication page, our 2 pictures, stay organized. You know what? I just noticed, now that we're on the stay organized, this picture in the background doesn't quite fit. I don't think I like that one. So let's change the picture to that one. So change the image. I'm going to select an image, and let's see, search. So to stay organized, maybe I have a messy desk. And we've got all these different choices here. You know what? Any type? I don't want any type. How about we do line drawing? You know what? This is a good one. We'll select that one. Adjusting for readability. And there it is. So we can go and do that for the others. Let's say for students. You know what though? Let's stay with the theme for the gallery. We picked this one before. So I'm just going to go back and put that one in for the others. Adjusting for the readability. There it is. Looks just like that first part. Compliance. Let's do the same thing for this one. Select the image. And we'll go back to that one. And select. There we go. So the other thing that we'll want to do at some point, you don't have to do it now, everything saves just like it would in any of the Google Suite, Docs or Sheets or Forms, but at some point we're going to want to publish this. So right now you're making all these edits on your page, but no one else can see it except for you. You can of course do the preview to show what it would look like once it is published, but it's not currently published right now. You can also share it later on to add editors. We'll talk about that later. So what you need to do is click on Publish. Now this is for my school site, but you've got some options. You can type in whatever it's going to be. So mine's going to be sites.google. You can read that. And then at the end would be what the name of your site is. So maybe you could do benefits of a teacher website. And it likes this one, so I could simply hit publish, and it would become active. And so anyone could go to that URL. It would be this part right here, and they'll be able to see exactly what's there. I can have it from my school account, or I can have it to anyone on the web. I would recommend anyone on the web, because then if you've got parents that don't necessarily have an account with your school district, you still want them to be able to access the information. And of course, you could have it appear in search results. That part is completely up to you. I would strongly recommend this one, though. I think that's sort of the better option for you. So there you go. You're on your way to adding some text, some links, and some pictures to get started on your new Google site. And what we'll do is we'll continue in the next episode, the next section, on a little bit more of the functions that you have access to by using Google Sites. All right, so have fun with it, and I'll see you in the next time.